Thank you for joining me today. So today we're actually going to get right into the nitty-gritty of things. Remember, I spoke about that I was going to share my experience with you guys, some of the stuff that I encountered while dating, right? But before I do, let's focus on one thing. What type of person are you? What type of person are you? Do you even know? So when someone asks me what type of person I am, I truly, honestly believe that I am the best version of who I was 20 years ago. I take pride in that. So I like who I am today because I did my self-reflecting, some healing, facing, being accountable, holding myself accountable on some things. And what was the outcome? I'm fucking amazing. But just because I think I'm amazing doesn't mean you think I'm amazing. I don't hold my value or my worth because of what somebody else tells me. But I live it every day. I'm not like anybody else. I am the first-rate version of me. There's only one Kiwi out here, and I take pride in that. But what makes me different from any other female? I can tell you, I cook, I clean, I have a whole list of stuff that I do, acts of service, right? I think that's my love language, is acts of service and quality time. I like to spend quality time. But with that being said, what makes Kiwi unique, right? I am unique because of this one thing that most people don't even have to this day. My word is my everything. So I pride myself in saying, if I tell you I'm going to do something, I try to keep that word. I want to be trustworthy. Now that's where it gets good. I had a conversation with a young man who said that after seeing my last episode, he wanted me to address this topic. And so I'm going to address this topic because it was actually good. He's afraid to date because he has trust issues. Trust issues. How do you have trust issues with someone that you have never met? How do you have trust issues with someone that you just met? So let's dig deeper. The trust that you have issues with is within yourself. So when I say I'm the best version of Kiwi there is, and the only one, it's because I have looked inside myself and, again, hold myself accountable, do some self-reflecting. I can't have trust issues with someone else unless there's issues with inside myself. So I did my research. Trust is something that should automatically be given until that party loses it. Do we do that? Let's think. You get into a relationship and this guy that you love, or this female that you're starting to like a little bit, they start moving what you get young kids say funny. So now all of a sudden you don't trust them. But is that all that they had to do for you not to trust them? I think it's you're holding the baggage from a previous relationship into this one. So in order for you to actually start a new relationship with someone else on this trust level that this young man spoke about, you have to see why you have an issue within yourself to actually be able to trust other people. If you go around not trusting someone, you're not letting them in, and so they're not going to get the full you or the best version of you. I will trust you until there's a reason for me not to trust you. So I hope that answers your question, and hopefully you'll be able to see where the disconnect is in the trust, and that maybe moving forward you give someone the opportunity to lose the trust. I know we are all afraid. We're all out here dating, right? We're all afraid of getting hurt one of these days. But does we just stop? Does that mean it's over? Are you never going to date again because you're afraid? I gave my sister this advice. She was toying with the notion of giving this guy an opportunity. I'll tell you that story later. But they ended up, I told her to give him the opportunity to hurt you. I know that sounds crazy, right? But until that opportunity, you could have the time of your life, and you just robbed yourself of ever experiencing a love, a good time, a new experience, because you're allowing fear to prevent you from exploring what is out there. There are still good women and good men out there. Unfortunately, it seems like when you're going fishing, you're always catching the bad ones and you got to throw them back. But if you pursue a relationship without there being any ill intentions of what you're going to get from that relationship, opening up, allowing that person to get to know you, there should be nothing wrong with you. Don't you love yourself? You remember what I said not too long ago. We lie to ourselves more than we lie to anybody else. So now that you're not doing that and you're looking in the mirror, here is the question. Why should I love you? Why do you love me? Right? And if you can't answer those questions, then we need to go back to the drawing board and see where we went wrong. Earlier, I spoke about what makes me different. And I said, I pride myself in saying my word. My word is, I think the saying is, my word is my bond, right? What does that mean? That means my integrity, my morals, all of that stands on if I say, hey, I'm coming at 3 o'clock to pick you up, and I'm going to make the effort to be there at 3 o'clock to pick you up. Or if I say, yes, I'm going to be there, I'm going to do something, making what I say a reality. Don't say something you don't mean. It's a lie. So let me use that. I actually got to witness a young man going into a store, and it's a store that he frequents often, and he didn't have enough money. He had $9. And the guy behind the counter, he recognized him. They did the greeting, hey, how you doing? And he said, look, I only have $9, but if you give me my regular, because he was a regular there, if you give me my regular, I will come back with the difference that I owe you. I heard the guy behind the counter say, okay, placed his order. The guy gave his $9 and he allowed him out the door. That was extremely powerful, and I don't think he even realizes that. That means his word was good enough. That means there was a trust between him and this restaurant owner that says, you know what, this young man is his integrity, his morals, and he says he's coming back. And I want to say, I truly believe the guy came back with his money. I think he said something about leaving his wallet, and I had $9 in cash. Let me give you this. Now, let me ask you this. How many of us can go into a restaurant and say, even the ones that we frequent, right? And say, hey, I only have $9, I got you, right? That means a lot. That means they had a relationship that was built on trust. That meant that they had a relationship that was built on this young man's word being true. And at the end of the day, did the shop owner take that risk of him not coming back and losing any money? Why would you burn that bridge? Because if he didn't bring the money back, and it was his favorite restaurant because he loved the food, likelihood is the shop owner would probably have treated him differently. So when you're going into a relationship, when I'm going into a relationship, that's the one thing that I look for. I had a coworker ask me about my dating experience, and the question she asked me is, what would prevent you from allowing a man to be that one? How do you know the difference? How do you know he's the one? Since you're on this mission, right? And it was a good question. And so I went to explain to her that the man that I allow in my heart past this wall, he's going to be a man of his word. So that means a lot. That the word is not lying. I can trust. If he says that he's going to the grocery store, he really is going to the grocery store because his word is his bond, right? So if you do not require that, they are not going to give it. So I look for that when I'm out on a date and meeting someone. But before I get into the meat and potatoes of my very first date or the experience, right? I decided my first relationship had to be with myself. You cannot expect to be out here with your expectations dating someone if you don't know who you are. How can I say love Kiwi and I don't love myself? So I took the time to date myself. I know that sounds crazy, right? And found out, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the indifferent. And I can actually present that at the beginning of a new relationship. And if you like what you see, is what you get. Because my word is my bond. I'm not lying to you and I'm not lying to myself. How do you expect someone to love you if you don't love yourself? We have to love ourselves. So let's get into it. Here's the date. So I met this young man at a pub, a tavern, where they play pool table and darts, and I'm very competitive. I know this about myself, so I actually disclosed this at the very beginning. So we're playing darts and we're having a good time, and as we're throwing darts, I'm the type of person, when I get into an environment like that, I befriend everybody around. So while we're at the bar having drinks, there was this girl there that was celebrating her birthday. And so I was like, well, happy birthday. And she gives me her age. She said, oh my God, I'm getting old. I'm turning 29. And I'm just like, bitch. I'm 49. But anyway, so I buy her a drink. And there was another guy there. We're talking because there was football on the screen. All this, right? I'm just painting the picture. So now we're going to go play darts. So we're playing darts. And I'm killing it. Just throwing the darts. Then next thing you know, he mumbles something like, I'm letting you win. When I tell you, I was furious. Why was I furious? Because I'm competitive. I don't want you to let me win. I want to earn my keep. And then I can't talk shit because you're telling me that you let me win. So I stopped and I was like, I need you to play. For real. Don't let me win. I want to win this fair and square. He's like, all right, fine. So now we're playing, and I'm like, are you letting me win? But I could tell, he has some skills, but I still won. So it was now a battle. It was not a tie game because I had 2 versus the 1, but he wanted one more opportunity because he was letting me win. So when I go up to the dartboard to get my darts out, I turn, and he's standing right there in front of me, right? And he grabs me, and he forces me to kiss him. And I was like, whoa, because now we're in this environment where it's open. Am I afraid of PDA? No, I'm not. But PDA, there's a time and a place. And the fact that he violated my space without even asking me, it just, let's just say that went real south real quick. But I didn't let it ruin the night. I just made note of it. So we finished the game. We finished our drinks, and then as we're walking out, I decide to have this conversation with him. I was like, hey, that whole kiss thing, he goes, oh, my bad, I guess I should have asked you. Yes, you should have, because I don't know if I would have kissed you. It wasn't the time or the place, and I wasn't feeling it. So anyways, he apologizes. So I accept the apology. I'm not going to hold that against you. Like I said, dating shouldn't be this hard, right? So I welcome the feedback. If I should have given this gentleman another chance, an opportunity, I did accept his apology. We still text and keep in touch to this day. I know I'm going to sound shallow, but you still have to be attracted. There still has to be a vibe, and there was not a connection. I look for personality. I look for a sense of humor. I realize it's the first date, so everybody's nervous, right? But I didn't hold that against him. Okay, so I look forward to sharing more stories with you. But before I let you go, we have to do our daily assignment. So our daily assignment is this. Remember, I said in order for me to get ready to date, be in a relationship, I had to date myself. So your daily assignment is, 1, asking yourself this question. Do you love yourself? Are you a people pleaser? Is it easier for you to please other people but not yourself? Doesn't make any sense. So take a moment and do some self-reflecting. Write a note or a sticky pad if you don't want to do that. Nowadays these phones have voice memos. Give yourself a voice memo telling yourself why you love you. Because if you can't tell me why you love you, how am I supposed to love you? I actually want to love you, so tell me why I should love you. In my next episode, I'm going to tell you why you should love me. I appreciate you joining me today. Remember, smiles are contagious. It's not too late. If you haven't stopped and smiled at somebody today, do so. Smiling at somebody can brighten their day. Better yet, even yours. Remember, the energy we put out is the energy received. So until next time, you guys, thank you.